wasn't expecting to see you all here today. Mr. Horton has insisted that I take some time out of work this afternoon. Yes, I know that's not his official title, but we shouldn't really be speaking about this out here. He always tells us that it's important to work hard, but also to make sure that we make time for recreational activities. Actually, I suppose while you're all here, that's something that we could talk about. What are people doing with their spare time during the war? How are people keeping their spirits up? Why don't we all reconvene back at the living quarters where I can gather some of my notes and we don't have to worry quite as much about anybody listening in. We won't be discussing anything too top secret today, but you can never be too careful. Now, I can see some of you have brought some games with you from last week. Games are always a good option for entertainment while there is a war on. Lots of children like to play out in the streets with their neighbours or with their friends, but when there's a risk of air raids, that isn't always possible. When that's the case, you might like to play a board game, maybe checkers, Scrabble or Monopoly. Card games are a good option too. Now, card games are played by soldiers in all different armies, and some now are teaching each other different versions of those games from their countries, or even new games. Why don't you have a go at learning to play a new card game? Maybe bridge or rummy. Now, I can see some of your faces thinking that you might get bored quite quickly of these games. So don't worry, there are other things going on to keep you entertained. And I've actually managed to get my hands on some footage that's been filmed across the country of what's happening. As you will all know, all cinemas were ordered to close at the outbreak of the war due to fears of bombing, though many reopened only a few weeks later. It was first thought that cinemas would be a risk as they held hundreds of people in a tightly packed space. Though when the bombing started, it all seemed to be very random and the cinemas weren't regarded as particularly dangerous. Cinema is a very popular pastime, and every week in Britain during wartime, between 25 and 30 million cinema tickets are still sold. Cinema has proven to be an indispensable means of instructing and entertaining the nation in wartime. The government uses film to influence the public to support the war effort in their everyday lives and to be more aware of their actions. New government films in cinemas are often informative of a country's war efforts and the progress of the war itself. They even show films of behaviours and actions you should follow during the war, or give guidance on everyday activities. Some films often suggest methods of coping with the loss of families and homes, and even tell you to be aware of enemy spies. There are also new films being released by filmmakers to boost morale, such as In Which We Serve, Went the Day Well, and Fires Were Started. This is really the first time British films are rivaling those made in Hollywood in terms of quality and quantity, though of course you can still see those American favourites. One that I've been to see quite a few times is Gone with the Wind. I think that came out in 1940. I wonder if any of you have seen it. For theatres, the nationwide closures meant that hundreds of people became unemployed overnight, with those in touring companies stranded miles from home. At the start of the year 1940, the Council for the Encouragement of Music and the Arts was set up to support the arts during wartime, which organises concerts of music, drama and ballet. The arts are in a very difficult position, and the UK Trade Union for Creative Practitioners urges that work in theatre should be regarded as national service for all artists either over military age or unfit to serve. They try to bring the arts to new audiences and make it accessible during wartime, and have been putting on entertainment for British troops in evacuated galleries and warehouses, even continuing in the basements during air raids. I saw some of your faces then, slightly confused as to why concerts are continuing while bombs are being dropped, or wondering why people are going to the cinema while there are spies around. Now, you have to remember that while there's a war on, it's vital to keep morale high. And the entertainment industry has made key changes in helping aid the cause of the war. Those people who are working out on the front lines, they need to know that they've got something worth fighting for. The government believes that a supportive home front is crucial if we are to win the war. And they're actually using the entertainment industry as a way of keeping us all informed about the country's war efforts. The radio is also a great way to reach out to the public and communicate with the community, as it is a very accessible form of entertainment. A popular radio programme is comedian Tommy Handley's It's That Man Again, which has been on throughout the war. On his show, he keeps us all informed of what's going on in the war, but keeps our spirits up too. In fact, most people I know listen to his show. I'd say there's almost 40% of Britons that tune in. Radios also mean that we are all able to listen to music in our own homes, classical and anything new. Apparently, government agencies have been pushing music producers to record more patriotic and uplifting songs. You can listen to music at dance halls, though of course you will be dancing too. Thankfully, in the first few months of the war, the government announced that dancing would not be prohibited due to the war, as they recognised that music and dancing are necessary to maintain morale for both civilian and military populations. Despite the war and the threat of air raids, dancing continues, though some of the rules of dance halls have had to change. For example, ladies shouldn't wear long dresses in view of the possible danger on the stairs in the event of a hurried exit. Some dance halls even had air raid rehearsals to practice how to clear the dance floor. These are things that most people have access to, though there are special efforts being made to entertain the soldiers, such as travelling cinemas, as entertainment provides a connection between those serving on the front lines and the public back home. Entertaining the soldiers breaks routine and gives time for reflection and enjoyment, and reminds them what they are fighting for. The Entertainment's National Service Association was set up in 1939 by Basil Dean and Leslie Henson to provide entertainment for British armed forces during the war. Large teams of people have to support the performers with costume, transport and logistics. Members of this association risk their lives to bring entertainment to those in conflict zones. Despite many extremely talented entertainers and movie stars, the organisation is spread thinly over the vast areas it covers. Some entertainers are better than others, which has led to the alternative acronym of Every Night Something Awful. Major wartime stars include Harry Lauder, Gracie Fields, Joyce Grenfell, Noel Coward and Glenn Miller. These are just to name a few, and there are many more entertainers for the troops, such as dancers, singers, musicians and comedians. These individuals take huge risks supporting the military personnel by travelling to battle zones. Some entertainers have enlisted in the army, and others raise funds for the troops. This next clip is of famous musician George Formby entertaining the soldiers.
Have you ever heard this one, have you? Which one? This one. A man of 80, old and sick, took monkey glance to get young very quick. He got so young he did a childish trick. You've never heard that one, have you? Have you ever heard this one, have you? Which one? This one. Have you ever heard this one, have you? Which one? This one. Mary married Sir Basil Blong. The next morning she sang this song. Oh Lord, you made the night too long. You never heard that one, have you? If I was a pigeon I wouldn't hop. I'd fly over Hitler and ribbon drop, and it wouldn't be leaflets that I'd drop. You've never heard that one, have you?
Another famous singer for the troops is Vera Lynn. She is widely known as the Force's sweetheart for giving outdoor concerts for the troops all around the world as part of the Entertainment National Service Association. A few of the songs most associated with her are We'll Meet Again, A Nightingale Sang in Berkeley Square, The White Cliffs of Dover, and There'll Always Be an England. The safest place for you to all be is at home, as there's the risk of air raids. But many of these types of entertainment are accessible to you to help keep your spirits up. If you're able to, you could do something from home to help entertain those out on the front lines, and I'm sure that would be greatly appreciated. This week I don't have any worksheets for you to complete, But I would like to task you with having a listen to some wartime songs, maybe watch a wartime film, or even have a go at the Lindy Hop. If you would like to, you could create a time capsule of how you're keeping entertained to remind yourself of the things you were doing during wartime, and you can have a look at it again once this is all over. Now don't worry, you don't need to be digging up your vegetable patch. You could just put a box away somewhere in a cupboard. Now, I'm actually off to watch local singer Hattie B perform some of my favourite wartime hits. I wonder if you'd all like to come with me and have a bit of a sing-along. Why don't we meet each other there?
Well, hello. Well, it's nice to see some new faces in the audience today. So for those of you who haven't met me before, my name's Hattie and I am a singer. So I believe I've got some songs for you that you'll all know the words to. So we're going to start with the War Favourites medley, which is a mix-up of 3 different songs from the war, and I'm sure you'll all know the words and it'll be nice to get singing along and waving your little flags in the air. And then we'll go straight in to a song that's quite important right at the moment, which is We'll Meet Again. So I hope you all enjoy this, and please do join in. It's always lovely to boost the morale of others while we all sing these lovely, lovely songs. So we'll take it away now. Bless 'em all, the long and the short and the tall. Bless all the sergeants and WL1s, bless all the corporals and their blinking sons, 'cause we're saying goodbye to them all. As back to their billets they crawl, you'll get no promotion this side of the ocean, so cheer up my lads, bless 'em all. Bless 'em all, bless 'em all, the long and the short and the tall. Bless all the sergeants and WO1s, bless all the corporals and their blinking sons, 'cause we're saying goodbye to them all. As back to their billets they crawl, you'll get no promotion this side of the ocean, so cheer up my lads, bless 'em all. We're gonna hang out washing on the Siegfried line. Have you any dirty washing, mother dear? We're gonna hang out washing on the Siegfried line, 'cause the washing day is here. Whether the weather may be wet or fine, we'll just rub along without a care. We're gonna hang out the washing on the Siegfried line, if the Siegfried line's still there. We're gonna hang out the washing on the Siegfried line. Have you any dirty washing, mother dear? We're gonna hang out the washing on the Siegfried line, 'cause the washing day is here. Whether the weather may be wet or fine, we'll just rub along without a care. We're gonna hang out the washing on the Siegfried line, if the Siegfried line's still there. Kiss me goodnight, Sergeant Major. Tuck me in my little wooden bed. We all love you, Sergeant Major. When we hear you bawling, show a leg. Don't forget to wake me in the morning and bring me round a nice hot cup of tea. Kiss me goodnight, Sergeant Major. Sergeant Major, be a mother to me. Kiss me goodnight, Sergeant Major. Tuck me in my little wooden bed. We all love you, Sergeant Major. When we hear you bawling, show a leg. we'll meet again, so please join in. We'll meet again. Don't know where, don't know when, but I know we'll meet again some sunny day. Keep smiling through, just like you always do, till the blue skies drive the dark clouds far away. So will you please say hello to the folks that I know? Tell them I won't be long. They'll be happy to know that as you saw me go, I was singing this song. We'll meet again. Don't know where, don't know when, but I know we'll meet again some sunny day. Now you join in. We'll meet again. Don't know where, don't know when, but I know we'll meet again some sunny day. Keep smiling through, just like you always do, till the blue skies drive those dark clouds far away. So will you please say hello to the folks that I know? Tell them I won't be long. They'll be happy to know that as you saw me go, I was singing this song. We'll meet again. Don't know where, don't know when, but I know we'll meet again some sunny day. Well done. Thank you very, very much for joining in and singing along. I hope you all enjoyed that, and we will meet again some sunny day.